Which was?
46th verse.
The 7th chapter, 46th verse. Arjuna brought Ashwatthama in front of Draupadi. Draupadi, being a very good lady and chaste lady, she feels very pity for the son of their teacher, Dronacharya. She says that Kripi did not go under Sati. She did not become Sati because she has a son. Now further, let us see what she says. So 46th verse, 7th chapter, 1st canto. Tad dharmagya mahabhaga bhavadbhirgauravam kulam vrijinam narhati praptum पूज्यं वन्द्यम् अभिक्षणशः तद्धर्मज्ञः महाभाग भवद्भिर्गौरवं कुलं वृजिनं नार्हति प्राप्तुं पूज्यं वन्द्यम् अभिक्षणशः तद्धर्मज्ञः. Therefore, one who is aware of the principles of religion, Mahabhaga, the most fortunate one, Bhavadbhi, by a good self, Gauravam, glorified, Kulam, the family, Brijinam, that which is painful, not, Arhati, does deserve, Praptum, for obtaining, Pujyam, the worshipable, Vandyam, respectable, Abhikshanashaha, constantly. O most fortunate one, who knows the principles of religion, it is not good for you to cause grief to glorious family members who are always respectable and worshipable. So, he had said, why we know the principle of religion. What is the principle of religion? Women should be protected, old people to be protected, children to be protected. Now, Kripi is alone. So, we know, you know dharma. You know the principles of dharma. And they are Brahmin family, respectable family. Why should we cause grief? Okay, Vimla Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna. Tadharmagya mahabhag bhavidhi gauravam kulam vrajinaham narahati shaptam pujyam vandam dhikshanashah. Translation. O most fortunate one who knows the principles of religion, it is not good for you to cause grief to glorious family members who are always respectable and worshipful. Purport. A slight insult.
Voice is not heard. Voice.
With worshipful family members. Hare Krishna.
Your voice cracked in between, right?
I got a call.
Yeah. A slight insult for a respectable family is sufficient to invoke grief. Therefore, a cultured man should always be careful in dealing with worshipful family members. Marodidasya janani gautami patidevata yataham mutavatsarta rodimnyashrumukhi muhu. Marodidasya janani gautami patidevata यथाहं मृतवत्सार्ता रोदिम्याश्रुमुखी मुहुः. Ma, do not, rodit, make cry. Asya, his Janani, mother, Gautami, the wife of Drona, Pati Devataha, she's chaste, yatha, as. Aham, myself, Murtavatsaha, one whose child is dead, Artam, distressed, Rodimi, crying, Ashrumukhi, tears in the eyes, no, constantly. So do not make the wife of Dronacharya cry like me. I am aggrieved for the death of my sons. She need not cry constantly like me. See how nice, wonderful nature Draupadi is having. Okay. Continue, Kusuma. Sumataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. मारोदित अस्य जननी कौतमी पति देवता यताहमृतवत्सार्ता रोडिम्याश्रु रोडिम्याश्रु मुखी मुहु. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My Lord, do not make the wife of Dronacharya cry like me. I am aggrieved for the death of my sons. She need not cry constantly like me. Purport. Sympathetic good lady as she was, Srimati Draupadi did not want to put the wife of Dronacharya in the same position of childlessness, both from the point of motherly feelings and from the respectable position held by the wife of Dronacharya. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So she is now thinking about what will happen to Kripi. At least she has husband. Kripi doesn't have husband also. So she'll be more in grief. 48 verse. Yaikopitam brahmakulam rajanyai अजितात्मभिः तत्कुलं प्रदहत्याशु सानुबन्धं शुचार्पितम् यहि कोपितं thus enraged Brahmakulam by the order of the Brahmanas, Rajanyaihi by the administrative order, Ajitaha and restricted, Atmabhihi by oneself, Tad that Kulam family, Pradahati is burnt up, Ashu within no time, Sanubandham together with family members, Shucharpitam being put into grief. If the kingly administrative order, being unrestricted in sense control, offends the Brahmana order and enrages them, then the fire of that rage burns up the whole body of the royal family and brings grief upon all. So we are Kshatriyas, we should not offend the Brahmanas. And if they are enraged, then the fire of that rage will burn the whole family. Okay. Gajendra Sutta Prabhu read.
यः कोपितं ब्रह्मकुलं राजन्येदजितात्मभिः तत्कुलं तदहाति आशु शानुबन्धं सुचार्पितम्. Translation from purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. If the kingly administrative order, being unrestricted in sense control, opens the Brahmana order and enrages them, then the fire of that rage burns up the whole body of the royal family and brings grief upon all. Purport. The Brahmana order of society or the spiritually advanced caste or community, and the members of such highly elevated families, they are always held in great esteem by the order administrative kingly, namely the administrative kingly order, the mercantile order, and the laborers.
And the laborers.
Sorry.
Okay. Sutuvacha dharmam nyavyam sakuranam निर्व्यलिकं सममः राजा धर्मसुतो राज्ञा प्रत्यनन्दत् वचोदिचाः धर्म्यं न्यायं सकरुणं निर्व्यलीकं समं महत् राजा धर्मसुतो राज्ञा प्रत्यनन्दत् वचोद्विजा. Sutta Goswami is telling to the rishis, Saunakadi rishis, dharmyam. So in accordance with the principles of religion, nyayam, justice, sakarulam, full of mercy, nirvyakulam, nirvyalikam, without duplicity in dharma, samam, equity, mahat, glorious, Raja, the king, Dharmasutaha, son, Rajyaha, by the queen, Pratyanandar, supported, Vachaha statements, Dvijaha, O Brahmanas. So Dharmyam, Nyayam, Sakarudam. So the statements are full of mercy, and were very justified statements. So this was supported by Raja. That is, the Yudhishthira fully supported Draupadi. And the statements were without duplicity. It's not that artificially she's presenting inside something is there, outside something. No, it was without duplicity. Okay. Daya Sagatavuri.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Prasad, Dandavat Pranam. Sutta Uvacha Dharmyam Nyayam Sakarunam Niryaklikam Samam Mahat Raja Dharma Sutto Rajnya
Ragya.
Ragya Pratyananda
Pratyanandad
Jodvijaha
Pratyanandad Vacho. Pratyanandad Vacho Dvijaha.
Pratyananda Dvachodvijaha. A translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Suta Goswami said, O Brahmanas, King Yudhishthira fully supported the statements of the queen, which were in accordance with the principles of religion and were justified, glorious, full of mercy and equity, and without duplicity. Purport. Maharaja Yudhishthira, who was the son of Dharmaraja or Yamaraja, fully supported the words of Queen Draupadi in asking Arjuna to release Ashwatthama. One should not tolerate the humiliation of a member of a great family. Arjuna and his family were indebted to the family of Dronacharya because of Arjuna's learning the military science from him. If ingratitude were shown to such a benevolent family, it would not be at all justified from the moral standpoint. The wife of Dronacharya, who was the half-body of the great soul, must be treated with compassion, and she should not be put into grief because of her son's death. That is compassion. Such statements by Draupadi are without duplicity because actions should be taken with full knowledge. The feeling of equality was there because Draupadi spoke out of her personal experience. A barren woman cannot understand the grief of a mother. Draupadi was herself a mother, and therefore her calculation of the depth of Kripi's grief was quite to the point, and it was glorious because she wanted to show proper respect to a great family. Hare Krishna.
नकुलः सह देवश्च युयुधानो धनञ्जयः भगवान् देवकी पुत्रो ये चान्ये याश्च योषितः नकुलः सह देवश्च युयुधानो धनञ्जयः भगवान् देवकी पुत्रो ये चान्ये याश्च योषितः. So Nakula and Sahadev, then Satyaki, Yudhana, Satyaki, Dhananjay, Arjuna, Lord, Devaki Putraha, that is Krishna, Ye cha Anyi, others, Yoshitaha. So all others also agreed with the king. Everybody supported the words of Draupadi because it was full of justice, mercy. It is very glorious also and not duplicitous. Okay. Ashok, Pasandani,
Hare Krishna Mataji, thanks for the service. Nakula Sahadevascha Yudhano Dhananjaya Bhagavan Devaki Putro Ye Chanasya Yashacha Yoshita. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nakula and Sahadev, the younger brothers of the king, and also Satyaki, Arjuna, the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, son of Devaki, and the ladies and others, all unanimously agreed with the king. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Next. तत्राहमर्षितो भीमस् तस्य श्रेयान् वदः स्मृतः न भर्तुर्नात्मनश्चार्थे योहन् सुप्तान् शिशून् वृथा तत्राहमर्षितो भीमस् तस्य श्रेयान् वदः स्मृतः न भर्तुर्नामनश्चार्थे योहन् सुप्तान् शिशून् वृथा. Now Bhima did not agree. He was in angry mood. Bhima was in very angry mood. Amarshitaha Bhima. So he said when he should be killed. He did not agree with them. Vadaha Smritaha. He recorded that he should be killed. Reminded them also. He recommended them also that he should be killed. So it was neither for the master's interest, na bhartuhu, na atmanha. It was not good for himself also. It was not in the side of master also. It was not for the master's interest also. So he has killed the sleeping children without any purpose. So he should be killed. I'll read the next also. Then Anupama, you can read one verse. Or a verse will be read by Dayasagar Prabhu, if you are not able to do. Then Vimla Mataji will read the next verse. Nishamya Bhima Gaditam Draupadyascha Chaturbhajah Alokya Vadanam Sakyur Idamaha Hasanniva Nishamya Bhima Gaditam Draupadyascha Chaturbhajah Alokya Vadanam Sakyur Idamaha Hasanniva. So Nishamya means just after hearing what Bhima said. Gaditam Bhimaha. To Draupadi, Chaturbhuja, the four-handed Krishna, Alokya, having seen Vadanam, the face, Sakyu of his friend, Idam, this Aha said, Hasan, smiling. Iva, as it is. Gita, the friend, the face of his dear friend Arjuna, and spoke smilingly. Okay. Anupama, can you read? Try out the verse.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Trahamshito bhimasaptasya shreyan vadham samritaha nabhujanatman shrathe
Na bhartur natmanascharthe. Na bhartur
nabhatur matmanasa charthe yo ahan suptan sishun vartha.
read.
Translation.
Let Dayasagar Prabhu one time read the verse. Everybody read the verse.
Right. Yeah, the
Sanskrit.
same. Yes.
Tatrahamarshito Bhimas Tasya Shreyan Padasmritaha Nabartu Natmanascharthe Yoham Suptan Shishan Vritaha Vritha.
Okay, read the translation, Anupama.
Translation. Bhima, however, angrily disagreed with them and recommended killing this culprit who had murdered sleeping children for no purpose and for neither his nor his master's interest.
Okay, Vimla, read the next verse.
निशम्य भीमदपितं द्रौपदाश्च चतुर्भुजा आलोक्य वदनं सख्युरिदमाह हसिन्नव. Translation: Chaturbhuj, the four-armed one, or the personality of Godhead, after hearing the words of Bhima, Draupadi and others, saw the face of his dear friend Arjun, and he began to speak as smiling. Purport: Lord Shri Krishna had two arms, and why he is designated as four-armed is explained by Sridhar Swami. Both Bhim and Draupadi held opposite views about killing Ashwatthama. Bhima wanted him to be immediately killed, whereas Draupadi wanted to save him. We can imagine Bhima ready to kill while Draupadi is obstructing him, and in order to prevent both of them, the Lord discovered another two arms. Originally, the primeval Lord Sri Krishna displays only two arms, but in his Narayan feature, he exhibits four. In his Narayan feature, he resides with his devotees in the Vaikuntha planets, while in his original Sri Krishna feature, he resides in the Krishna Loka planet far, far above the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky. Therefore, if Sri Krishna is called Chaturbhuja, there is no contradiction. If need be, he can display hundreds of arms, as he exhibited in his Vishwarupa shown to Arjun. Therefore, one who can display hundreds and thousands of arms can also manifest four whenever needed. When Arjuna was perplexed about what to do with Ashwatthama, Lord Shri Krishna, as the very dear friend of Arjuna, voluntarily took up the matter just to make a solution, and he was smiling also. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So now Krishna wanted to see. Because Arjuna was completely confused what to do with Ashwatthama. So that is why Lord Shri Krishna, as a very dear friend of Arjuna, voluntarily took up the matter. Just to make a solution, he was smiling also. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Brahma Bandhurna Hantavya Atatai Vadharhana Mayyevo Bhayam Amnatam Mayyevo Bhayam Amnatam Paripahi Anushasanam Kuru Pratishutam Satyam Yattat Sanvayata Priyam Priyam Cha Bhimasenasya Panchalyam Mahyam Evacha Sri Bhagavan Vacha Brahma Bandhurna Hantavya Atatayi Vadharhanaha Mayyevo Bhayam Amnatam Paripahyanushasanam Kuru Pratishutam Satyam Yattad Santaveta Priyam Cha Bhimasenasya Panchalya Mahyam Evacha. So Lord says, Vacha, Brahmabandhu, the relative of Brahmana, na hantavyaha, should not be killed. Atatayi, but he's an aggressor. Vadharhanaha, then he should be killed. He's an aggressor, then he should be killed. Maya eva ubhayam amnatam is described by the ruling authorities. It is there in the scriptures, and you should do accordingly. Anushasanam should carry out accordingly. So, Pratishutam as promised. Satyam Yattaj, whatever you have promised to pacify your Priyam, dear wife, satisfaction. For the satisfaction and also for his sin, and also to satisfy me, you have to fulfill your promise. That means you satisfy me also, Bhimsen also, and you have to work according to whatever scriptures have told. He is an aggressor, he must be killed. So let us see how Lord kills him, how Lord advises him to kill. Okay. Gajen Sutta Prabhu, read.
Hare Krishna.
Read the verse carefully because a lot of Sandhi Vigraha is there.
Brahma bandhurna hantavya katatahi vadarana maya bhobhyam amanattam ahamnattam
Amnatam.
परिपाहि अनुशासनम् कुरु प्रतिश्रुतं सत्यं यत्तत् संवयत्ता प्रियं च भीमसेनस्य पाञ्चाल्यमयम् एव च. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The personality of God, Sri Krishna said, a friend of a Brahmana is not to be killed, but if he is an aggressor, he must be killed. All these rulings are in the scriptures, and you should act accordingly. Accordingly, you have to fulfill your promise to your wife, and you must also act to the satisfaction of himself and me. Purport. Arjuna was perplexed because Ashwatthama was to be killed as well as had according to different scripture cited by different persons. As a Brahma Bandhu or a worthless son of Brahmana, Ashwatthama was not to be killed, but he was at the same time an aggressor also. And according to the ruling of Manu, an aggressor, even though he be a Brahmana, and what to speak of an unworthy son of a Brahmana is to be killed. Dronacharya was certainly a Brahmana in the true sense of the term, but because he stood in the battlefield, he was killed. But although Ashwatthama was an aggressor, he stood without any fighting weapons. The ruling is that an aggressor, when he is without weapon or chariot, cannot be killed. All these were certainly reflexities, desire that Arjuna had to keep the promise he had made before Draupadi just to pacify her, and he also had to satisfy both Bhima and Krishna, who advised killing him. The dilemma was present before Arjuna, and the solution was provided by Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. The dilemma was present. Confusion is there completely what to do with this person. Is Brahma Bandhu also son of a Brahmana, son of the teacher? Kripi is alone. According to the Shastras, a woman cannot be kept alone. Who is going to take care of her? So much of confusion was there. Let us see how Krishna resolves. And at the same time, he has promised his wife that I'm going to kill Ashwatthama. Krishna says he fulfill his promise. Bhima is agitated. Bhima says you should kill. What is this sort of compassion? So now he has to pacify Bhima also. He has to pacify Krishna also. He has to pacify his brothers also. He has to pacify his wife also. Arjuna immediately takes some vows. That is a problem with Arjuna. He always takes vows without thinking. He only took the vow, I'm going to behead. I am going to bring the head. You stand on the head. And then you take bath. So Krishna says, let us pacify everyone. So let us see how Krishna decides. Suto vacha Arjunaha sahasa ityaya harir hada mathasina mani jahara murdhanyam vijasya saha murdhajam. Suto vacha Arjunaha sahasa ityaya harir hada mathasina mani jahara murdhanyam vijasya saha murdhajam. Arjuna understood. Arjuna could understand Sutavacha. Arjuna Saha, just at that time, Agyaya, knowing it, Hari of the Lord, Hardam, motive, Ataha, thus, Asinaha, by the sword, Mani, the jewel, Jahara, separated, Murdhanyam on the head, Vijasya of the twice born, Sahavit, Murdhajam, hairs. So now Arjuna understood the equivocal orders of the Lord. Pacify everybody simultaneously. Immediately what he did, he took a sword and severed both hair and jewel from the head of Ashwatthama. That is enough to punish him. Because it is said, because of that he is actually Chiranjeevi. Ashwatthama goes on moving. And Ashwatthama has been insulted. For a Brahmana, insult is enough to kill him. For a Kshatriya, remove his power, that is enough to kill him. For a Vaishya, remove the money, that is enough to kill him. For a Shudra, beat him. Everybody should be treated in a different way. Brahmana, insult him. Insult is enough for a Brahmana, that is as good as a death. For a Kshatriya, remove the position, as good as death. For a Vaishya, remove the money, as good as death. Because he is interested in money. Remove what is dear to him. For a Brahmana, dear is his prestige, pride. He has a pride. For a Shudra, beat him. If he is wrong, slap him, beat him. So now he is Brahmana. He is insulted. The jewel has been removed from the head. It is as good as cutting his head. At the same time, the life is saved for some practical purposes. His mother is alone. That's the only reason his life is saved. Okay. Adi Satviki Mataji, can you read or you're in office? I think you can read.
Mataji,
Yeah.
Haribol, Dandavat Mataji. I'm somebody else's house.
Okay.
I'm in the temple.
Okay.
Mataji, which number?
55.
55. Yeah, I can read. Just a minute. $55. Yes, I got it. Text number 55. Sa ubacha Arjunaha sausat sahasagnaya
1 minute.
Hare
Sahasagyaya.
sahasagnaya Hare redam athasina
Harer Hadama. Harer
Hare
Hardama.
Hare
Hardam
Athasina.
Hardamathasina. If you're reading, it's a breaking there. Harer Hardamath. You cannot do that. You have to join that. Harer Hardamathasina.
Hare hardamathasina.
Manir
Manir yahara murdhanyang dijasya
Saham Murdhajanam.
saha murdhayam
Murdhajam.
or murdhajam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Just then Arjuna could understand the motive of the Lord by his equivocal orders, and thus with his sword he severed both hair and jewel from the head of Ashwatthama. Purport: contradictory orders of different persons are impossible to carry out. Therefore, a compromise was selected by Arjuna by his sharp intelligence, and he separated the jewel from the head of Ashwatthama, which was as good as cutting off his head. And yet his life was saved for all practical purposes. Here Ashwatthama is indicated as twice born. Certainly he was twice born, but he fell down from his position and therefore he was properly punished. Thank you very much for the service, Mataji.
Next. Vipucha Rashanabadham Balahatya Hataprabham Tejasa Manina Hinam Shibiran निरयापयत् विमुच्य रशनाबद्धं बालहत्या हतप्रभं तेजसा मणिना हीनं शिबिरान् निरयापयत्. Ashwatthama, because the jewel is removed already, he lost his all bodily luster, hataprabham. Rashanabadham, after releasing him from the bondage of ropes, Balahatyaha, he was infanticide. Hataprabham, he lost all the bodily luster, Tejasaha, of the strength, by the jewel, Heenam, being deprived of, Shibirat, from the camp, Nirayapayat, he drove him out. So in this way, he was driven out and was driven out of the camp. That was enough for him. Such a great insult was done. It was good. That insult was necessary. It is as good as death for him. Okay. Kusum, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Vimuchya Rashanabadham Balahatya Hata Prabham Tejasa Maninahinam Shibiran Nirayapayat. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He, Ashwatthama, had already lost his bodily luster due to infanticide, and now, moreover, having lost the jewel from his head, he lost even more strength. Thus, he was unbound and driven out of the camp. Purport: thus, being insulted, the humiliated Ashwatthama was simultaneously killed and not killed by the intelligence of Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Next. Vapanam Dravinadanam Sthanan Niryapanam Tatha Eshahi Brahma Bandhunam Vadho Nanyosti Daihikaha. वपनं द्रविणादानं स्थानान्निर्यापणं तथा एष हि ब्रह्मबन्धूनां वधो नान्योऽस्ति दैहिकः. Vapanam, cleaning the hair, clearing, it's not cleaning, clearing the hairs from the head. Dravina, the wealth has been removed. Adanam, forfeiting. Sthana, from the residence. Niryapanam was driven out. Tatha also, Esha, all these, he certainly, Brahmabandhunam, of the relatives of the Brahmana, Vadaha, killing, no, not, Anya, any other method. Asti, there is, Daihikaha, the matter of body. There cannot be any prescribed punishment beyond this. Cutting the hair from his head, depriving him of the wealth, driving him from his residence, or the prescribed punishments for the relative of a Brahmana. There is no injunction for the killing of the body. Brahmana cannot be killed. Brahma Hatya will come. But Brahmana can be insulted if he is wrong. And that is enough to kill him. He cannot tolerate the insult. Okay. So Vimala Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Vapanam Dravinadanam Sthanan Niryapanam Tatha Esha hi Brahma Bandhunam Vadho Nanyata Asti Dehikaha. Translation: cutting the hair from his head, depriving him of his wealth, and driving him from his residence are the prescribed punishments for the relative of a Brahmana. There is no injunction for killing the body. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, now last verse. Putra Shokatura Sarve Pandava Saha Krishnaya Swana Mritana Yatvityam Chakrur Nirharanadikam. Putra Shokatura Sarve Pandavaha Saha Krishnaya Swana Mritana Yatvityam Chakrur Nirharanadikam. So the son, Putraha, Shokaha, bereavement, Aturaha, overwhelmed with survey all of them, Pandava, the sons of Pandu, Saha long, Krishnayaha, with Draupadi, Swanam of the kinsmen, Mritanam of the dead, yet what? Pratyam ought to be done, Chakru, we perform, Nera Harana Adikam, undertakeable. The sons of Pandu and Draupadi, overwhelmed with grief, performed the proper rituals for the dead bodies of their relatives. Thus, in the Bhakti-vedanta purports of the first canto, 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Son of Drona Punished. The words can be read by Sumataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Putra shokatura sarve Pandava saha Krishnaya Swanamritanam yat krityam Chakrur nirharanadikam. Translation. Thereafter, the sons of Pandu and Draupadi, overwhelmed with grief, performed the proper rituals for the dead bodies of their relatives. Thus, the end of Bhakti-vedanta purports of the first canto, 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Son of Drona Punished. Hare Krishna.
So here relatives, so many are there because fight has happened. Even Duryodhana is dead. So it was a big massacre, no? Heavy fight, heavy war. So next chapter is very important chapter, Kunti Maharani's prayers. So that we'll do next week. Let me see how much time I'll get. If I don't get time, then after I come back. I'll be keeping you informed when we'll be the next class, because on Tuesday I have to go to, I'm going to Vrindavan. So how much time I'll get after that, let me see. But anyhow, we have another 100 verses. I just checked. 8th and 9th chapter has 100 verses. We need 10 classes practically to complete 8th and 9th. So 7, 8, 9, I think by end of January we can have a test. And February onwards we'll start having 3 classes in a week. I'll try to keep 3 classes. So that in a month you can complete one set, because this first camp was a huge camp. How many? 3 chapters, that is enough to make you study nicely. All 6 chapters at a time will be confusing. See, the purpose of studying is to retain, for the retention also. Just studying and afterwards forgetting doesn't have any sense. So when we are studying, we should absorb also. So I feel that let us have 3 chapters peacefully. So we have 3 sets like that. How many chapters total? It is 19 chapters. 7, 8, 9 is one set. 10, 11, 12 is one set. So 2 even. 13, 14, 15, 3 set. 16, 17, 18, 19, 4 set. So 4 set, practically we need another 6 months. Nicely we do. With holidays. Everything. Festivals also has to be observed. The yatras also has to be gone. We cannot just keep aside everything and just go on. It doesn't work. Because study should not become a burden. Study should be relished. For relishment only we are studying. It is not that we want certificate. Relish the studies. Retain the studies. Understand the tattva. Absorb it in our... Because now the method we are going, we are trying to learn from these verses. The nature of Draupadi. See how Nyaya is done. How the justice is. Justice is not done same for everyone. The court which is there nowadays is the court of justice. And the court of justice in the Vedic times are different. Punishments are different for different people, different categories. But now everybody is Shudra, that is a problem. There is no Brahmana existing. Very rare. There is no Kshatriya, proper Kshatriya. Kshatriyas are doing some other work. So that is why punishments are common for everyone. But in those times it was defined. They defined the Varnashram according to their gunas. Okay. So just tolerate everything. Sometimes there will be change in timings and all. Recordings will be available. Sometimes there will be change in timing. What I can do? This time, this whole month was Laghu Bhagavat Katha. So somehow we could study, we could continue our studies. Okay. Recordings will be given. And I request Gautam, without asking, just put You don't have to be reminded. Just put the recording as soon as the class is over. Put the recording. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Any
you so
doubts?
much. Thank you.
Any
Hare
doubts?
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna.
Once again,
Hare
Guru
Krishna.